This video is kind of bringing the Power Passers series to a conclusion. I may do another video at another time because I'm still going to experiment with the steering, because that's the biggest flaw in this slotless track, this version. So you have to let off the throttle basically to switch lanes, which slows you down. And then also the power of the track. So you've got the other car, if the other person isn't changing lanes and they're on the throttle, you let off, you're slowing down, you're losing power. There's really no way to pass. And I think it's just the nature of the beast with these cars. They're really cool. So I'm gonna take it, for what they are. I do like them. I think that they're just really cool looking, and they are fun. I had fun doing this. In fact, I'm having a hard time putting the track away. I want to play some more. But I'm going to move on to another set. So this is new old stock. And that's got the pickups and the springs. And there's rear tires in there. I took the front tires out. Here are the front tires from new old stock. See if that'll focus on that. Let me try this. Yeah. And I knew that was going to be the case when I got it. When I got the kit. Even the seller, I'll just say it. Slot Car Central, which I love. I love Slot Car Central. I get a lot of stuff from them. But, he said even in his description that, hey, man, these, no guarantee on the tires, and these are old. But my point to this is, yeah, the tires are dry rotted and melted just from time. That's the kind of rubber they use. So check this out. I got some O-rings, and I was testing. They work. So I have a couple different sizes of O-rings. These work really well, but you can see they're skinny. They're not as wide. I did show in the other video that the old ones, most of them, some of them are good, but most of them are dry rotted, and they're pretty tough. They're done. So I got some O-rings, and I did test them, and they work. I should probably do more testing on where you can see they're skinnier than the originals. The original's kind of blown up, probably from being so dry rotted and stuff, but that's a pretty good representation of how much wider it is. So I need to experiment more with whether to put the tire all the way inside flat against the wheel, or to bring it outside and try to square it up with the outside of the rim. But they do work, and it's a good replacement right now. And I do have a couple other size O-rings. They're a little bit wider, but they're a little bit taller too. So, hey, I'm just, we'll find out. I'll have to do an update on that at some point, maybe in the future. Anyway, this was fun working on the Lionel Power Passers. Pretty cool. I wanted to mention another thing about replacing the tires. If you do use the O-rings, I had a really nice car, and it had really bad tires, and I got these O-rings, and I was really excited about it, and I went to take the old tires off, and I was putting the new O-ring on, and the wheel was still attached to the axle, and I was being really careful because I did not want to break that little axle off right there. But I did break it off. I couldn't believe it. I was being so careful, and yet somehow I broke that. So these front axles have these they're split, and they move. I'm not gonna squeeze this much, But when you go to take the wheel off, when the wheel's on there, you can just get some of these on there just a little bit and take your wheels off to replace your tires. Otherwise, you're going to end up having to find a junker car that hopefully has a good axle on it, and you're going to have to replace it. And they're not easy to take apart just because all this stuff is old and brittle. I thought I'd make a video about taking track apart. A lot of these tracks that I'm dealing with are really old, and this is a Power Passers track, and these tabs are notorious for breaking off. So I'm not sure how good this video will be, but I'm going to try to show you. Just to, give you an idea. So very carefully I take this screwdriver and I get it in here and I just pry that open. Hopefully that showed up. You could probably hear it pop when I did that. So I'm going to pause for a second. And I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you can see it from the other side. So sometimes you can see I'm prying on it, but you don't want to pry on it too much. And you have to kind of, I'm going to barely hold it, and then I'm going to put the screwdriver in between the track. And you can see, I just give it a little. So I'm not going to take that all the way apart because I'm actually going to go over to the other side of the track and do the same thing. That way it's not pushing or pulling on any of the stuff. So these are really kind of tough to take apart sometimes. So anyway, it's tough. Like, I'm trying really hard not to break those tabs. So you got to just be patient and take your time. All right, so like I said, I got this side of the track already apart. And then this part on the other side I took apart too. So then you just slowly pull them apart. That way they're even and it's not stressing other parts of the track. Yeah, you just, especially like on this high bank. So this high bank I've repaired. This one down here, that's actually still intact with all the tabs and everything. So I'm really concerned about taking that apart. I'm going to even if I leave it together and I don't store it correctly, I could still break the tabs, right? So we'll see. Maybe I'll try to carefully take it apart.